Hi, I'm Alan Tutt, and I am recording this video because a student of mine in my avatar power system recently asked me a question, and it's a very intriguing question. I believe the answer to this question can help a lot of people. The question was, how would I go about winning a lottery? To set the stage, first of all, you have to understand that my avatar power system is focused on the idea of manifesting your desires into physical reality. And so the concept of manifesting a lottery win is something that I know a lot of people are interested in. I've seen so many videos on YouTube about how this person won a lottery, how that person won a lottery, and they're all kind of saying the same basic thing. And while the information that's out there is valid, I believe that it lacks. And I believe that we can add more information to what's commonly known and improve the results that people get when they want to manifest something like winning a lottery. Now, whenever you learn something from somebody, it's important to understand what makes them a credible source of information. Why would you listen to me about how to win a lottery? And that's definitely more than a fair point. So the point is, or the fact is that while I have not actually won a lottery, in fact, I've only tried it a couple of times, I have won quite a few games of chance. I have been pretty good at sitting in on a card game and focusing my mind and having the cards just happen to fall into place so that I win. I've done this on quite a number of occasions. And this is the thing about winning lotteries, is that there's a lot of people talking about how to win a lottery, and they've only done it once. They've only won one lottery. And that's another point that I want to stress here, is that anybody can get lucky. Anybody can win a lottery. And just because they won a lottery doesn't mean that they actually know how to do it. Because one of the key principles of science is repeatability. Being able to duplicate the experiment and the results more than once. So someone who's just won one lottery isn't really a valid source of information. Someone who's won two lotteries, maybe, maybe not. Someone who's won three or more, they would be the person to actually listen to. And so this actually gets into another reason why you might want to listen to me, despite the fact that I've not actually won a lottery. And that is because, as far as I'm aware, nobody has won multiple multi-million-dollar lotteries. And so based on that criteria, that scientific criteria, repeatability, nobody is in fact qualified to actually talk about this in specific terms. Now, I have manifested quite a number of things that could be called miracles. In fact, I recently released another video like this one to answer a question asked by one of my students about how I control the weather. How do I influence the weather? And that is influencing a situation that's beyond our physical capabilities. So in that respect, I have demonstrated an ability to influence things outside of any physical control. And so I do have some credibility in this area. So now that we've set the stage, I know I've spent a lot of time just on that point, but the thing that I really want you to know is that in terms of who can you trust, there's nobody that has won multiple lotteries, at least multiple multi-million-dollar lotteries. I don't think there's anybody who's actually done that intentionally. And so there's nobody who's really qualified in that respect. There are people like myself who are qualified to talk about how to manifest miracles and other things that are outside of our physical control. So just want you to kind of understand where to place this information compared to anything else that you might run into online. Okay, so I did mention that I did try to win a lottery at least a couple of times in my life. The last time was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. And basically, I bought tickets for each of the drawings in one particular lottery. It was the Powerball lottery that is available here in Michigan. And I bought a weekly ticket, or actually twice weekly tickets, two times a week for, let's see, how long did I go with that? It was a little over a month, probably about 6 weeks. So over that 6-week period, I noticed very few actual positive results. There were very few coincidences between the ticket that I bought and the numbers that were actually drawn. Now, if I were to be serious about winning a lottery, and that's probably another point that I need to bring up here, is that, yeah, I did try it, but was I really serious about it? And if I am really honest with myself, I have to say that no, I really wasn't serious about it. I did it to try to prove a point that maybe it could be done. And the thing is that our personal beliefs, our personal values, our personal preferences, our view of the world influences everything that we do, manifesting and otherwise. And especially in the area of manifesting, because our belief about what's possible, our belief about what is right and good in the world, and our beliefs about a lot of different things, really, our entire belief system all works together to either help a particular outcome manifest or to give resistance to a particular outcome manifesting. And back when I tried this the first time, and this was many years ago, back when I was first learning how to manifest things, and my skills were not what they are now. So there was that involved as well. But I remember sitting down and thinking about winning the lottery, what I would actually do with the money, and what that would actually mean for myself, my life, my relationships with others. And there were all these different beliefs that came up. And one of the beliefs that came up was that if I actually did win a lottery, if I did suddenly get several $1,000,000, I would probably be the type of person who would go on a permanent vacation for the rest of my life. I would retire from everything. I would just have fun, and I would really enjoy life. And that is an appealing thing. But I also realized that if I were just going out on all these wonderful vacations, what good was I really doing in the world? And that question, that value, resonated inside my mind and raised the question, is this really something that I want? Do I really want to win the lottery and just have fun all my life? Or would I like to actually be of value to the world? And there was a part of me that understood that if I were just simply focused on myself and not focused on actually creating value in the world, which is what you need to do when you earn money, you need to create value in order to exchange that value for money. I realized that if it were a one or the other situation, and I do recognize that it is possible to do both, but I did recognize that if it were a one or the other situation, that I would prefer to be of value to the world. And I also knew that by being of value to the world, I could get all the money that I really wanted. And I could go on all those wonderful vacations and have all this wonderful stuff without winning the lottery. And so I have to admit to myself, at least, that there was at least a part of me that really didn't want to win a lottery. And so that part of me did provide some resistance to making that manifestation happen. So while there is also a part of me that would actually wonderfully love to have all that money, there's a part of me that feels satisfied with living life as I'm doing now. And that's why I haven't actually manifested a lottery win. Now, to get back to the question, what would I do if I really did want to win the lottery? If I were serious about it, what would I do? And I did think about this quite extensively, and I mapped out what my plan would be. And so here we are, recording this video to share with you what my plan would be if I were really seriously wanting to win a lottery. So the first thing that we have to understand is that manifesting depends on three key principles. And if you followed any of my material, you already know what these are: willpower, belief, and imagination. Of those three principles, of those three conditions, of those three ideas, belief is the most important one. As a wise person once said, according to your belief is it done unto you. Your belief creates your reality. If you believe that Mondays are the worst day of the week, guess what's going to happen? Your belief is going to create resistance, hard experiences, and other conditions on Mondays that don't exist on any other day of the week. If you believe that money is easy to come by, if you believe that money flows easily into your life, then you will have an experience that echoes that belief. If you believe that money is hard to get, if you believe that life is a struggle, if you believe that the world is against you, your belief will create hardship. So belief is the most important factor whenever we're looking to manifest anything. And in fact, if you already believe that wealth is abundant, that money comes easily to you, if you already believe these things, and I don't mean believe it in a head sense that, yes, I believe that it's possible. I mean believe it on a heart level, on a gut level, that this is the reality of life. This is the reality of your experience of life. If you truly believe that financial abundance is easy, that it just happens to flow into your life whenever you want it or need it, then you will already be experiencing that. And then there's nothing else to do. The only time that we have to bring in the factors of willpower and imagination is when we need to change what we believe. In order to change what we believe, we have to change something within us on a fundamental level. And that doesn't happen by just simply asking for it to be done. It doesn't happen just because we want it to be done. It happens when we make it happen. And so by changing a belief, we can change our experience of life. And in order to change a belief, we have to be able to focus our mind on the thing that we want to manifest clearly and hold that focus long enough for it to actually happen. Now, there are quite a number of different beliefs that will be beneficial in the objective of winning a lottery. Things like, I am lucky. I win games of chance. I am a winner. I truly enjoy all that life has to offer. I can have anything I want. I tend to get the best of everything. These types of beliefs create a positive experience across all areas of life, including the area of financial abundance. Now, in the area of financial abundance, beliefs that can be helpful are ones such as money flows easily to me. There is an overflowing abundance of money. Having lots of money is a wonderful experience. Abundance is my right. I am wealthy, now and always. Luxury is the normal state of affairs in my life. These types of beliefs, and I'm not saying these are the only ones involved, I'm just saying these types of beliefs. There's many, many other beliefs that fall into the same type of category that resonate according to the same vibration as what I just listed here. These types of beliefs will manifest money in a wide variety of forms, and especially the beliefs about I am lucky and I win games of chance. Those beliefs will be particularly important when trying to win a lottery, when manifesting a lottery win. Let me rephrase that. Okay, now there are a few other beliefs that can be beneficial. Things like prosperity is normal. This is the way life is. Prosperity is normal. Everyone has all the money they need. Obviously, this is not in line with what we see with our physical eyes, but when we are looking to manifest something, it's important to shift our beliefs in a way that goes beyond what we see in the world. So thinking that belief of prosperity is normal helps. Let me just put it that way. When you think along that line of prosperity is normal, then some of the related beliefs are that poverty is an aberration. It's not normal. In fact, there are many people who teach prosperity principles that will tell you that prosperity, or not prosperity, but they will tell you that poverty is a sickness. It's a disease. And a healthy person, someone who is financially healthy, is prosperous. Related to these are also beliefs about money is good. It is not the root of all evil, as some people try to say. Money is good. And not only is money good, but the people who have money are also good. And in fact, there are a lot of rich people who have the belief that people with money are better than people without money. Now, I'm not going to talk about the morality of that belief, but it is one of those beliefs that can help attract more money into your life. So I will just leave it at that. Because personally, I believe that everyone is equally good, but there is a benefit that I can see in believing that people with money are better in some respect. Because here's the thing, I've talked with quite a number of people, and I've lived with a number of people who believe that people with money or people with lots of money are evil, they're crooked, they're the scum of the earth kind of thing. And I can guarantee you that anyone with those types of beliefs will never get rich, will never experience winning a lottery. And so if you find those types of beliefs within yourself, you need to change those if you want to experience financial abundance. Okay, so now that we have an idea of what types of beliefs that we need to have within ourselves, there are two main ways that we can change what we believe. And this has been the foundation of my online business since I started it in 2003. How do we change what we believe? How do we change our experience of life using metaphysical principles? And there's two primary ways of doing this. One is the short way, one is the long way. The long way is easier, and it's the way that I recommend beginners start with. The long way is a process of creating memories within your mind, because our beliefs are supported by our memories. Most people will tell you, well, I believe this because I have experienced it. I believe that because it's happened over and over and over again. I believe in this because that's what my memories tell me what to believe. My memories support those beliefs. If we want to change what we believe, one way of doing it is to change the balance of beliefs within our minds. Now, I have had many years of experience of living in poverty. When I wanted to change my experience of life in a financial way, I needed to counterbalance those negative beliefs with positive beliefs. And so let's just say there were 1,000 negative beliefs in my mind of living in poverty. In order to balance those, I needed to create 1,000 positive beliefs within my mind of living in wealth, living in luxury, living in abundance. Obviously, there are at least two different ways of creating memories. One is to actually live it physically, but another way of creating memories is to daydream about the thing that you would like to manifest. By daydreaming, as some people would call it, creative visualization, by visualizing the end result that you would like to manifest, you are creating memories within your mind. And the best way of doing this is to relax as deeply as you can. Let go of any attachment you have to the outside world. Relax, 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 relax. Calm your mind, calm your body. Go down deep within yourself. You're basically hypnotizing yourself. Go into a deep meditation. Go into hypnosis if you could. And then within that deep, relaxed state, daydream about the end result that you would like to manifest. In this case, we're talking about daydreaming about having lots of money, daydreaming about winning a lottery, daydreaming about the things that you would do with that money once you had it. And so by relaxing, going within, that helps make the visualization stronger and helps implant those memories into a deeper level of your mind. So, because the deeper those memories go within your mind, the stronger they are, the more they stick with you. Just by visualizing something while you're nervous and constantly thinking about everything else that you've got to do during the day, those memories, they might stick just a little bit, but they're gone very quickly. If you really want to implant good memories deep within your mind, you have to relax very deeply. You have to center yourself. You have to think about it very clearly without any other distracting thoughts as much as you can. And then just daydream about that end result you want and do that over and over and over and over again. There's this quote that's out in the world that people say that the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real event and one that is vividly imagined. And I remember writing about that in one of my emails to my mailing list. And one of my subscribers wrote back and said, that is absolutely BS, because the subconscious mind is the one that's processing your physical senses. And so it knows whether this information, this experience is coming through physical senses or not. And I have to agree with that person. I have to agree that, yes, the subconscious mind does know the difference between a real event and one that's vividly imagined during the time that's happening. However, a day later, a week later, a year later, the memories are exactly the same. The memory of a vividly imagined experience is just as real as a memory of an event that was physically experienced. And it's those memories that support our beliefs. It's those memories that direct our spiritual energies, if you want to call it that, to manifest the things in our lives. And so, again, the easy way of manifesting an outcome, which does take longer, is to relax, go within, vividly imagine the thing that you would like to experience, and do that over and over and over and over again until the positive memories of wealth, abundance, success, whatever it is that you want to manifest, outweigh the memories that you have had previously of its opposite. And so that's one way to counterbalance our memories, our belief system. The other way of changing what we believe happens a whole lot quicker, but it does take greater skill. It takes a mental strength to be able to do this quickly. And this is something that develops over time. It's not something you can just decide to do and instantly you've got it. It's something that takes time to develop. It's a skill. I kind of compare it to playing sports or dancing or playing a musical instrument. And the dancing in sports is a little bit easier to use as an analogy because anybody can do it. Anybody can get out on a dance floor and move to the music. Anybody can go out and once they know how sports played, they can play the sport. I mean, we did that in school in physical education class. The coach said, here's the game that we're playing. Here's how to play it. Okay, everybody out. And we're all playing it. But it's a big difference between being able to do something and being able to do it well. Anybody can dance, but only those who have practiced, learned from better instructors. It's only those who have really trained themselves to dance well that ever get hired to do it professionally. Same thing with sports. Anybody can play sports, but it's only those who have spent years training themselves over and over and over again, week after week after week after week after week for years, who ever get hired to do it professionally. The same is true with manifesting. Yeah, anybody can manifest. Anybody can sit down, relax, visualize something, and get some kind of result from that. Anybody can do that. But if you're going to do something intense, if you're going to do something that is out of the ordinary, if you're going to manifest a miracle, you've got to really be good at what you're doing. You've got to really have a tight degree of focus. You have to be able to focus your entire mind on one idea to the exclusion of all else and hold that focus long enough for the belief to change. Now, here again, I want to point out that what we're doing in this process is changing our belief. We're not sending out energies to create change in the world, even though you can think of it that way. You can visualize it that way. That can be your working model, that you are focusing intense energies and sending it out to create change in the world. In fact, in my previous video of how I influence the weather, that's one of the working models that I used at one time in the past, which was if I wanted rain to stop, I visualized the idea of energy from within myself being sent out into the world, covering the sky and blocking the rain. Not that that was what was actually happening, but that was my working model. That was my symbol, my mental symbol of what I wanted to happen. And it was that symbolism that got anchored into a belief about what was actually going to happen. And it's that belief that made it happen. It wasn't the visualization. It wasn't what I imagined inside my mind. It wasn't the idea of energy going out to do something in the world. What actually made it happen was my belief was changed. And according to my belief, was it done unto me? Basic principle. So the long way of manifesting is to relax, visualize what you want in as much detail as you possibly can, as clearly as you possibly can, and do it over and over and over again until it happens. The quick way of manifesting is to simply decide what you want and trust that it will happen. It's really all it is. In fact, nowadays, when I want to change weather or do something else, that's really all I want. It's like, okay, this is what the end result is. Okay, it's done. Little bit more than that, but very little more. So those are the two ways you can go about manifesting anything, whether it's manifesting a lottery win, or manifesting improved health, or manifesting a perfect relationship, a perfect job, anything you want to manifest, the same basic principles apply. The best approach is when you can combine both of them. And so let's get into a little bit more of the specifics now. And I realized that this video is definitely going a little bit longer than I had anticipated. As long as it's good information, I will keep it in the video. I can edit out whatever I feel doesn't belong. Okay, so what would I specifically do step by step if I were serious about wanting to win a lottery? So the first step that I would do is, first of all, disengage from life as it is now. Especially if I were in a position where I felt like everything's going wrong, bills are piling up, there's not enough money coming in, the job is really not what I want it to be. If I were in that type of position, I would really have to separate out, push myself away from that experience. I would have to distance myself from current reality. The way my life is right now, I mean, to be completely honest, I'm happy with the way life is now. Yeah, there's a few things that can be improved, but I don't feel any resistance to the way things are now. So right now, in my specific situation, I don't feel as great a need to separate myself away from it. But depending on what your situation is, you may need to separate from your current reality in order to create a better one. And so that's part of it. Now, even in my situation, I would still take time, go deep within myself, go into that deep meditation that I was talking about. And that is part of that separation process, disengaging from current reality so that I can engage with the divine. Because when we can connect with the divine essence of the universe, and you can think of this any which way you want to, if you want to think of it as an energy like electricity or magnetism or solar energy or gamma rays or whatever else, the 0-point field, you can think of it in that way. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. To think of it as a mechanical force that simply provides energy that we can direct through our minds. If you want to think of connecting with the divine as in connecting with an actual super person, like a lot of people think of God or angels or nature spirits or fairies or whatever. I mean, if you want to think of it as an entity, a humanoid type entity, that's perfectly fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, there are some very good reasons to make your concept of the divine something approachable. There's also good reasons to think of it as a mechanical force too. So think of the divine in whatever way you want to. There's good reasons to go with both. So connect with the divine in whatever way you can. Now, one of the ways that I do this is to focus my mind on positive emotions, love, joy, wonderful sensations. In fact, sensation, sensual experience can be one good way of opening your mind, your heart, your soul to the divine essence of the universe. Just imagining what it's like if you take a bite of your favorite food. Imagine what it's like to sit by a warm fire at night. Imagine what it's like to sit on the beach in the summer and just soak in the sun and listening to the waves of the water and the birds and everything else that's going on there. Imagine yourself getting a deep, relaxing massage, whatever it is that you enjoy. By daydreaming, again, we're going to use that word, daydreaming about the things that you enjoy, holding on to a loved one. Whatever it is that you enjoy, whatever gives you pleasure, can help you relax into that positive feeling state. And by relaxing, going within, opening yourself up to these positive emotions, that helps you connect with your inner divine essence. And the more you can connect with your inner divine essence, the better all this works. It just does. So that's the first step that I would do. Separate from the world outside and connect with the divine essence within. That's my step one. Step two, once I am relaxed and centered within myself, connected to the divine, I would meditate on the ideas of wealth and abundance. Just the idea of there is plenty of money, money comes easily to me, money flows into my experience, I receive lots of money. These types of ideas, and especially the idea of I am lucky, things go well for me, the force is on my side, the force is with me, whatever. Life works in my favor. Meditate on these positive emotions, these positive beliefs, the beliefs that I was talking about just earlier here. Meditating on these concepts, visualizing these concepts in action. Meditate on not only the basic principle of wealth, not only on the basic idea that wealth itself is abundant, is freely available at all times, not only meditating on these concepts, but also daydreaming about experiencing wealth and abundance and winning. All of these ideas, meditate and daydream, meditate and daydream, meditate and daydream, just allow my mind to be filled with these concepts, because this step is what conditions our belief system to be open to new possibilities. This process of relaxing, going within, establishing positive emotions, and meditating on the thing that we would like to manifest, again, helps shift the beliefs. It's like you believed in poverty, lack, and hardship because you had those experiences in life. If you want to experience something different, you have to shift those beliefs. And those beliefs get shifted by having at least an imaginary experience, because that imaginary experience works almost as well, I'll say 80 to 90% as well, as having an actual physical experience. And so that's my step two. Step two, meditate on wealth and abundance and just allow that to condition my mind to those ideas. Step three in my process, my step-by-step process, I would take that whole concept that I've been meditating about. And I guess I have to mention that if I'm really serious about wanting to win a lottery, I would definitely take my time with this. I would not rush it. I would not try to get all this done in a half an hour or an hour. I would probably take 3 days, a week, just to meditate on the basic concepts. I would spend as much time as I possibly could, whether that was an hour a day, 3 hours a day, 10 hours a day. I would take all the time I could and just fill my mind, my heart, my soul, my emotions with these ideas and allow those to condition my inner consciousness to this new idea of reality. I would take all the time I could. I would not rush it. So step two might take 3 days. It might take a week before I even started to work on step three. So just to kind of put that into perspective here. So step three, after I have really shifted my belief system to start expecting wealth and feeling like, yeah, wealth really is the normal part of life. Anything other than wealth and abundance really is an abnormal situation, however you want to think about that. And once I started feeling that, then making affirmations would be my next step. And that next step would be affirming the truth that I want to experience. Again, the same basic principles apply no matter what it is that you're trying to manifest. In this case, we would be talking about affirming that I am a winner. I am wealthy. I do have plenty of money. Money flows easily into my life. These types of affirmations help to further shift our beliefs. Now, notice also how I'm saying these. I am wealthy. Money does flow into my life easily, abundantly, without end. It's not that I'm trying to force it. It's not that I'm trying to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm stating it with confidence, as if this is a normal, natural statement of reality. I'm not changing anything. I'm not forcing anything. I'm stating a truth. And just like the truth of 2 + 2 = 4, it's like we don't have to say 2 + 2 really does equal 4. I am worthy of abundance. Those are the types of affirmations that don't work because you truly don't believe them. You have to believe in the affirmation, at least to some degree. Now, here's a trick with affirmations, and that is to say, okay, current reality is this. My reality next month is going to be this. My reality next year is going to be this. My reality 5 years from now is going to be this. Whatever time frame feels appropriate for you. Put yourself into that future state and speak from that future state. It's like, okay, my plan is I'm going to go through this process. I'm going to manifest a lottery win. I'm going to win the lottery. All the paperwork's going to be taken care of. It's eventually going to get transferred into my bank account, and then I can really have fun with it. So put yourself into that final state of the money is there. You can now have fun with it. And then once you can imagine yourself in that future state, speak from that experience. Yeah, looking around, it's like, yeah, here's my bank account statement. Yeah, there's plenty of money in there. You don't have to force it. You don't have to stress it. You don't have to use all these funny rules about it. Has to be first person, present tense, positive stated, all this. Just use whatever words make sense to you. I mean, it doesn't have to follow any particular rule. The thing is that if you do this and put yourself into that future state and speak from that future state, most likely you will be stating things in those ways. First person, present tense, positive focus. That's all good. So that's step 3, to actually state and affirm the truth that I would like to experience. And in that state, in that step 3, that affirmation, I am in that process implementing that second manifestation technique I told you about. Decide and trust. Decide, this is the truth of reality. This is what I will be experiencing. It is going to be this way. I mean, going back into present tense, future tense, whatever, there are a lot of people that look at the news report and say, oh, darn, it's going to rain on Saturday. Guess what? That's a future tense affirmation. And for most people, that's what they manifest. Myself, if the weather prediction says it's going to rain on Saturday and we have plans for Saturday, it's like, okay, they've got it wrong. I am changing that. It is going to be sunny on Saturday. It is going to be warm on Saturday. It is going to be perfect weather on Saturday. Everybody's going to have a wonderful time. I don't worry about present tense. I worry about stating the truth as I desire it to be. Okay, so now that we have talked about 3 stages, 3 steps of manifesting a lottery win, so far, everything that I've talked about has been kind of general. It hasn't really been a very specific formal process. It's all been relax, think about the concepts, relax, allow yourself to daydream about the concepts, speak from that desired experience, make affirmations that anchor this into a concept of reality as opposed to wishful thinking. Okay, there's 2 different worlds that your thoughts can be on. You want your thoughts about the thing that you want to manifest to be in the real world, not part of wishful thinking. And we can get into that, but that's going to be a whole other topic. What I would do, and again, what would I do if I were really serious about wanting to manifest a lottery? So far, I said I would take probably about a week just imagining the concepts of wealth and abundance, condition my mind to those concepts. Then I would take a couple of days just stating affirmations. I am lucky. I do get everything that I want. Money comes easily to me. Wealth is abundant, not just in my life, but all over the place. Money is easy to get. I would be stating those concepts. And I would probably take a couple of days on that. And then, now that a week and a half has gone by, then I would actually start to do the formal process. And the first thing that I would do there, which is step 4 now, is to go through a process that I call harmonic prayer. This is a formal process that can take anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour, depending on how detailed you want to get into it. I would probably spend at least a half an hour in it, whatever amount of time felt comfortable without trying to push it and force it. Because that's one thing you don't want to do, is try to push and force things. Because that effort to force something comes from a belief in resistance. That effort to overcome resistance indicates a belief that it may not happen on its own. You want to be natural. You want it to flow. You want to be easygoing with this. Okay? So that's why I would take it as long as I could without forcing it. So this harmonic prayer process, I would probably spend maybe a half an hour at it, maybe an hour. I have spent a lot of time meditating, so I can get into a really long meditation without trying to force it. And this harmonic prayer process is simply a structured approach to doing what we've already been talking about. Relaxing, going within, going very deeply within to a very low alpha state or even a theta state of mind. That's in the deep meditation or light hypnosis area. So I would go very deeply within myself. I would elicit those positive feelings. I would imagine myself connecting with the divine essence of the universe. And then within that space of the divine connection, I would simply state, this is what I would like to manifest. This is what I am going to manifest into my life. These are the things that I am putting into this divine space. Those are the types of thoughts that would go within my mind. And so I would go into that space, and then I would simply, again, daydream about the end result that I would like. I would daydream about buying the ticket. I would daydream about the numbers matching the winning numbers being broadcast. I would imagine going into the lottery office, turning in the ticket, signing the papers, getting the check. I would daydream about going to the bank and depositing the check and taking out a withdrawal and having the money and then going out and playing with it. And I would find some point in there that could represent the entire experience, that could symbolize the entire experience in one event. And for me, I think that one event would be receiving the check. And so I would really focus on receiving the check, seeing the numbers on the check, lots of zeros on that check. I would focus on that and I would say, this is happening. This is my reality. This becomes real. I claim it, I make it so, and so it is. I would anchor that symbolic event within that whole structure. I would anchor that with truth. I would anchor that with the concept of, this is physical reality. This is real. This isn't just make-believe. This is real. This is going to happen. Doesn't matter what else happens in the world. This is going to happen. This is a fixed point in time, as Doctor Who would call it. This is reality that will not change. And that is the concept that I would anchor that experience, that image, that feeling with. I would anchor that whole experience with the ideas of truth, reality. It is what it is. There's nothing that can change it. I would anchor that in. And that anchoring in process, again, there's a force of will that goes into that, that says this is going to happen. There's no other possibility that could happen because I have anchored this in. And once you've anchored it in, while in that deeply relaxed state with lots of detailed visualization, not just images, but sounds, feelings, textures, emotions, smells, tastes, whatever could be involved. By anchoring this whole experience into your mind through this harmonic prayer process, it locks it in a way that just doesn't happen with normal daydreaming. And that's why I would say this as my fourth step, because I would use all of the previous steps to condition my mind so that when I get to this, there is no resistance inside my mind to making this happen, to accepting this as my reality. So that's why my harmonic prayer process would be fourth in my process of manifesting a win at the lottery. Okay, so once I get to this stage, I would be doing this harmonic prayer process once a day, every day, until it actually happens. Doesn't matter if it's a couple of days, doesn't matter whether it's a couple of weeks, doesn't matter if it's a couple of years. If I were truly serious about this, I would continue this harmonic prayer process on this one goal every day until it happens. And that's one of the reasons why some people get really great results from manifesting and other people don't. Some people stick with it long enough to actually make it happen. And by sticking with it long enough, putting your entire mind and being into the process, by focusing your entire mind on one thought to the exclusion of all else, you are developing your mental strength. You are developing your force of will. You are developing your belief system to support a new experience. And so the more you work on this, the better you get at manifesting. And if the first thing you work on takes a month to manifest, the next time you choose to manifest something on the same level, it will happen a whole lot quicker. Because the first time you're developing the skills to make it happen, the second time you already have the skills. And then the third time and the fourth time and the fifth time, it just gets easier and easier and easier every single time you do it, to the point where, as I mentioned earlier, I can decide what type of weather I want on the weekend, and within 10 seconds, I have it done. So that is essentially my process, what I would do if I were serious about wanting to win a lottery. So I do want to make one other point here, because I know this question is going to come up. It came up for me, and the question is, are we better off letting the computers pick the numbers, or should we pick our own numbers and focus on making those numbers come up in the drawing? And based on my experience, again, I've only tried this twice, and the last time I only did it for about 6 weeks. But during the time that I played with this idea, I tried both ways. I tried just letting the computer pick the number and just manifesting the winning number, the winning number, the winning number. And I also tried manifesting the winning numbers to play on a ticket. And I will say that in the short time that I worked on it, I did seem to get better results when I picked the numbers. And I got better results when I went into that harmonic prayer process, when I went into that deep meditation and connected with the divine and used that connection to receive the numbers. I did seem to get a little bit better results there. I think I got 3 numbers that came out right on one drawing. Not enough to really do anything significant, but Hey, it was 3 numbers, three out of 6, I think it was. That's when I got my best results, by going into that harmonic prayer process and letting the divine give me the right numbers. And what I can say is that the only reason I didn't get the full numbers is because I was not clear enough to receive those numbers. I needed to develop my skills in perceiving that information before I could do that well, do that better. Let me just put it that way. I can receive information. I have done quite a number of different things on the psychic lines. That's a whole other topic for a whole other video. We'll get into that some other time. So hopefully the information that I've shared with you in this video has given you some idea of what you could do if you were to have the goal of manifesting a lottery win. And hopefully you can translate this to any other objective you might have. If you want to manifest good health, if you want to manifest positive relationships, if you want to manifest excitement and adventure in your life, if you want to manifest a life of meaning and purpose, whatever it is that you would like to manifest, if you see it as significant, if you see it as something beyond just your normal ability to manifest the little things in life, hopefully this gives you an idea of how you can approach those bigger projects. And that brings up another idea that I should have mentioned in this video, and I'll mention it right here, right now. The more we see the objective that we want to manifest as this big, imposing goal, the less likely we are to actually manifest it. Manifesting is easier when we see the goal as small and insignificant. If we see it as, oh, it's just a simple little thing like that. Oh, it's just a simple little thing. We just changed the gravitational constant of the universe. Just a simple little thing. Simple little thing, winning a lottery. Okay, yeah, it happens every week. Somebody somewhere is winning a lottery. And it happens over and over and over again. It's not that big of a deal. The more you can see it as a small thing, the easier it will be for you to manifest it. The more you see it as this big imposing thing, the more difficult it would be to manifest. That's also another reason why I had trouble manifesting a lottery win back when I tried it, is I saw it that way. And again, going back into this process that I was just sharing with you, one of the things that I would definitely focus on is seeing the objective, seeing the task of manifesting that lottery win as small and insignificant. It's an easy thing, because that will also impact our experience of reality. According to our faith, is it done unto us? If we believe something to be difficult, it's going to be difficult. If we believe something to be easy, it will be much easier than it would have been otherwise. So hopefully, again, closing out this video, hopefully I've given you some good information that you can use. If you would like to learn more, my website, Power Keys Publishing, which is powerkeyspub.com, my website offers training on the skills of manifesting, training in the art and science of manifesting. I have a variety of courses. I have a variety of support packages, guided meditations, hypnosis sessions, background audios, all of this kind of information that can help support your beliefs in manifesting more positive things into your life. If you would like to take part in some of this training, feel free to come by the website, take a look around, pick something that works for you. I have a free 7-day Kickstart program that gives you some basic lessons that will get you started towards manifesting miracles into your life. Thank you.